we rewrote the first one, and I've multiplied everything by -2, so double check. Do you have a -10x, a -4y, and a +8? Okay, because if you don't even have that, there's no point in moving on. Okay, is everybody good there? Okay. Malcolm, what's going to cancel now? Okay, so what do you have left when you do that?
-7x or equals 14.
Good, and so then when you divide it, what you end up with?
-2.
Nice job, okay. All right, Manuel, where do you want to plug in your x equals -2 at?
Top one.
Okay, top one, which is fine. So you should have 3 times -2 plus 4y equals 6. Okay, now if you plugged it into the bottom one right here, that's fine, you should still end up with the same answer. Okay, so now what are we going to do first to solve that, Emmanuel?
Multiply 3 times 2.
What do
3
you
times -2.
What do you get? What do you get?
-6.
Good. What do you want to do next?
Add the 6.
Good. So we get 4y equals 12, and then what?
Divide by 4.
You get. Good. All right. So now, what will my final answer look like here, Caitlin?
Oh, -2 and 3.
Very good. Okay. Does anybody have a question on that? Okay. All right. So number 3. All right. What do you guys think here? What do you guys want to multiply by? Raise your hand if you think you got something.
Wait, how do you figure out what to multiply by?
You just need to make my numbers match. So there's no set, you know what I'm saying, there's no set way. So like up here, we multiply this by -2 to get the y's to cancel. But if you would rather match up your x's and do like 6 and 6, that's fine. So multiply by 3 here and 2 here. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's look down here. Okay? So you can't really go wrong in the first step. You just need to pick x or y and then figure out what you're going to multiply by. Okay, James, what do you think? Okay, that's fine. So he is canceling his x's, right? Okay, so he's multiplying by -3 here to get a -12. He's multiplying by 4 to get a +12, which is right. We need one positive, one negative, the same number. Okay? Now, would anybody have chosen to do the y's? Yeah, you could have done the y's, and what would you multiply by if you had chosen y?
5 and -5.
So you would have multiplied the top one here by -5, and then what?
+3.
Okay? Here's my problem with that.
Switching.
Here's my problem with that. You'll have a -15 here, right? You'll have a -15 here. We want the same number but different signs. So how could you fix that? What could you change this to? Yeah. Okay, so if you find out your signs are still the same, then just change one of them. Okay? So now if I multiply this by 5 and this by 3, that gives me a +15 and a -15. Now they'll cancel. Okay? All right, let's go ahead and stick with what we did right at first, though. Okay? So anybody want to tell me when you multiply by -3 on the top there, what do we get? Nice job, Quentin. Okay, anybody want to step up and do the second equation here for us? Okay, Ben, what do you got?
12x
Yep.
minus 20y equals
Everybody have it already?
92.
-92. Very good. Okay. All right, so now canceling out will be our x's, correct? Okay, so now, again, remember it's just kind of an addition problem, always will be. So -9 plus -20. Good, -29y. All right, now we've got -24 and -92. When we add those up, what do we get? Very good. All right, so then we divide by -29. Good, +4. Okay. All right, so now we're going to take this and plug in y equals 4. Peyton, where do you want to plug it in at? Your choice.
Top.
All right, top it is. So we're going to plug it in for the y right there. So 4x plus 3 times 4 equals 8. 4x plus 12 equals a. Is everybody okay there so far? Okay, Diana, yeah.
So you're not gonna use the question that you're not gonna use the question. You're not gonna use the problem that we just made.
You can if you want. You can, it's just bigger numbers.
Oh,
Alright, but if it were me, I would just go back to one of the originals because it keeps the numbers smaller and a lot of times we can do it in our head.
okay.
Okay, but yeah, it's up to you. Okay? Alright, so here we are, we got 4x plus 12 equals 8. Guadalupe, what are we gonna do now?
Subtract 12.
Good, so 4x equals what?
-4.
Good, and then when you divide it, what'd you get?
-1.
Very good, alright, so my coordinate point, James, will be what?
A negative 1, 4.
Good, negative 1, 4. Okay? Alright, so let's take a look here at number 4. I'm gonna give you a second, just think in your head about what you would multiply by. Alright, does anybody have something they want to volunteer here? What would you multiply by? Quentin, what'd you do?
2 on the top, negative 3 on the bottom.
Okay, oops, not 6. Alright, so if he's doing 2 on the top and negative 3 on the bottom, what's he canceling?
The X's.
The x's, and will my signs be a positive and negative this way? Yeah, looking pretty good. So let's go ahead and use this. Okay, I'm gonna give you a second to kind of solve it on your own. You could do the y's, guys, alright, but let's go ahead and do his way, that way we're all on the same page.